All right, hey everybody. We are going to take the Rattan LF750-Pro out for a short ride. I want to talk to you about some things, and I want to show you some of the labeling that this bike has, kind of to help you along if you need any information about it. But let's take the ride. I want to talk to you a little about e-bike safety as well. And we're just going to go up to my main road out there, which is commercial. I'm going to stop at that little tiny park. We're going to take some photos of the bike, and we'll add that to the video as well, and we'll talk a little bit there. But let's get started here. The video after this will be some of the settings in the display, and I think the video after that will be how to reset, or we'll talk about some of the codes when you're looking at the e-bike, when it may have, and we'll talk about some of the codes that, some error codes as well. I just charged this up again. I only rode it a mile, or maybe two. It shows 2 now. I did reset my miles from kilometers to we'll just turn this down so you guys can see it, from kilometers to miles, because I'm going to also see how fast it really goes when we're looking at miles versus kilometers compared to the GPS. But what I want to talk to you about today first on this video, before we get into some of the labeling and like where stuff is on the bike, so you'll understand what the bike is about. The first thing I want to tell you is e-bike safety. So recently there was a report from NBC or MSNBC about e-bike safety, and how a 15-year-old kid was riding his e-bike and either got hit by a car or hit a car, and he was wearing a helmet, and unfortunately the young man died. And then also in the report they said a child as young as 6 years old was riding an e-bike and was injured or killed riding an e-bike. I just want to say that e-bikes aren't the enemy. What e-bikes are a mode of transportation to get you from one point to another, and they are just like motorcycles or bikes or anything else. You should wear some of the proper clothing if you're concerned with it, to negate what you may feel as a potential to get injured. One of my examples is your helmet. The helmet, if you're riding a 28-mile-an-hour bike, you ought not be wearing a 15-mile-an-hour protective helmet. You should be wearing this is where we're going, you should be wearing a helmet that protects you up to the 28 miles an hour or 30-mile-an-hour bike. You should also be make sure you're wearing one that is either the Dutch approved standard or the American approved standard. So yeah, it's just crazy that people immediately, you know, and I feel bad that her son was injured and killed on a bike, on an e-bike, but it's not the e-bike. These bikes are only as safe as you make them to be. If I can tell you this, when I was young, I had a regular bike. I was pedaling that bike. I looked down to pedal hard. And when I looked up, because of my hard pedaling, I had slightly moved into a bad angle and ran face first into a parked car. Well, that's not the bike's fault. I can't turn around and go, oh, the bike did it. It's my fault. These bikes are made for a reason. They are to get you from point A to point B, and also to have some recreational fun. I have 30 of them, and I cannot remember one that said this bike is for 6-year and up, or 4-year-olds and up, or 8-year-olds and up, or 10-year-olds and up. All of them said 16 plus or 18 plus years of age. Now, my personal feeling is if you can let a 16-year-old drive a car, a 16-year-old personally should be able to ride an e-bike. If they have a license, they should be able to ride an e-bike. They should be aware of the laws and the rules and common safety practices. It's not about just getting on and acting like you're an 8-year-old that has no common sense when riding an e-bike. Just my feeling about it. These are not for 6-year-olds. These are not for 10-year-olds. Even the small ones with 12-inch wheels, the ones that are compact that fold, those are more to get you in and out of spots where maybe you don't have a lot of space or a lot of room. The smallest one I have is a 12-inch bike. Looks like a child's bike, but even it came in the box that said 16-year-olds and older, or 18 and older. These are not made for children, guys. These are not made for children. No matter what you think, no matter how you think they look, oh, this is a cute little kid's bike. A little kid, you know, a 12-year-old could absolutely ride this bike. A 10-year-old could ride this bike. It's not rocket science. A 10-year-old could ride the bike. You could teach a 10-year-old to ride the bike, but it's not made for a 10-year-old. These are made for adults or people with licenses. Each state has different rules and different engagement ages and things like that. And if you're over 16 in my state, which is Oregon, you do not have to wear a helmet if you're 16 years or older or 18 years or older. I wear a helmet because it's safe on these bikes. And once in a while in my neighborhood, I may not wear the helmet, but I'm taking that risk myself. Typically, a helmet is something I wear. Anyway, let's get off that subject now. That's just my little... I just saw it on the TV and I thought, well, you know, safety is you know, you got to take safety in two ways. One, as a parent, you've got to instill it in your children, and you have to be the adult in the room and take it seriously. These things, they may look like toys. They're not really toys, guys. So just be safe out there. Wear a helmet. If you're going distances and you're going fast, gloves, elbow pads if you need them, knee pads if you need them. If you think that's going to help you and you feel better about it, absolutely wear it. That's good stuff, man. All right, now I'm going to get into this bike. So this bike is the Rattan LF750-Pro. This is the second video on the bike. The first was an unboxing and these are the photos of the bike and a little ride on the bike. This is my second ride. I don't have a lot of miles on it. The only thing I can tell you of this bike that I think could be a real improvement on this type of bike are the brakes. Could go to from manual to hydraulic brakes. I love hydraulic brakes, so that's just my feeling. When I came up here, it broke fine. There was nothing wrong with the braking on the bike. Now, the CTS BFT 20x4-inch tires. BFT, big fat tire, just a big tire. Very nice tires. Now, I'm going to take some photos here and show you where some of the labeling and where things are on this bike. There should be a serial number on this bike. The serial number on the Rattan LF750-Pro is located underneath the bike by the left crank shaft. All right, so I took some pictures there. I'm going to take some pictures up here too. They put a brand new mural up here, and that mural, she was painting it, maybe the last 3 weeks. Very pretty. This is also known, I can show you, maybe I'll go up here and turn around. I didn't bring my little backpack that has all my stuff in it, which is kind of unfortunate because it has my extra batteries. I filled it up and then left it on the toolbox. But yeah, as we come up here, you can see off to the left, there's some new painting going on. It kind of looks like old rusty type stuff, but it's not. Let's pull over here and I'll show you. Yeah, actually she's out painting now. So this is very cool. Yeah, she's been painting this a while. So I just want to show you guys, and I'll take some photos too with this bike in front of it because it's very, very pretty. So yeah, so I don't know if she's the person that paints all these murals, but holy cow, what a phenomenal job she does, guys. Yeah, I love the yellow up there for the what's supposed to represent the sun coming through. Let's see, does this show that? Yeah, it looks like it does. But yeah, she's over there painting. I'm not going to disturb her. She's been doing this a while. Like I said, I've seen this going on for a couple of weeks now, and it's just pretty phenomenal, the work she does. When she first started doing the elks and the deer, I couldn't tell what it was. My wife's like, hey, she's painting an elk, because she just saw the blobby brown outline. And then since then, in the last week and a half, she's filled those in, and very, very good. Let's ride on and capture some other stuff. We'll take a photo of this stuff up here too. I've done this before, but we'll do it again just to have it. A little bit in the, yeah, I think hers over there, the brilliance of it and stuff, just beautiful. Oh, the brakes are doing really well. They're braking in just fine. And like I said, before they were, you know, they felt just kind of like new car brakes. If you ever drove a car that didn't have any miles on it, now we're at 3 miles, it didn't, they just don't grab, or you just get a fresh brake job. They just don't grab. You'll brake and you'll go like, oh, it's braking, but man, they're not great. Now, this bike, the brakes are braking in, and as you can see, it doesn't change the fact that you've got to use hand strength to brake, but the bike brakes just fine. I prefer hydraulic brakes because I have, if you look at my fingers, you can see they're arthritic and very sore when I use them in any kind of very hard manner. Yeah, it runs in the family, whatever kind of arthritis it is. My grandmother had it, my mom had it. I don't remember it running on my dad's side, but it surely ran on my mom's side. So I'm going to get up here to my street, and being that I'm in miles per hour now, I will, and I'm fairly on a fresh battery, I will turn the GPS on and we'll see how fast this goes. I know this bike moves because I'm starting to move now. Yeah, it's no joke, it's moving. Wow. That's legit, guys. This bike has some legit speed. I'm very surprised at the legit speed this has. I really thought it was going to be a 25-mile-an-hour bike. It is not a 25-mile-an-hour bike. Also, I'm going to show you some of the stuff on here in some pictures as well, so you kind of get an understanding. Actually, let's talk about it now. Hopefully this can see. We have power here. We got miles per hour or kilometers per hour. We have the PAS level you're in. We have the watts you use. We have the miles I've driven or rode. They call it driven, but rode. Then if you push this button, you'll see it rotates over to trip. Now that's what my trip is. This trip is 1 mile, and that is true. It's a very short trip. And then we got my time. I've been on this for whatever that is, 7 minutes and 12 seconds. That's since I pulled the battery and stuff and turned it off. So, and then this is, I can't read it. Oh, I guess that's my speed. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let's see. I don't know. Can't read it. Anyway, we're on odometer now. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come over here. We are going to put here. We're going to do speed. We're going to do a speed test. We're going to reset everything. Reset. Reset. And now I'll read off to you. Hopefully this will tell you how fast we're going. All right. So we'll do this on the way to the downhill portion. And I'll stop reading. I'll probably do it both ways, going and coming back. "24, 26, so it's close. 26, 27. 27, 28 and a half. GPS is slow at picking it up. 28, 30 and 29. That's a legit 29, because now we'll start going down here, hill here in a second. 29 and 29, so it's accurate. It's just GPS is slower at picking up the speed. Almost 30. There's 30 and 31. So it's legit, guys. See, and now you can hear my back brake. I gotta squeeze hard, but the back brake will brake. All right, so let's go back one more time. This is going to be my label video. Even though I called it safety in the front, this is my label, what the labels on the bike show. And these are things you guys will need if you need to know any kind of little bit of information on the bike. Now on one of my videos, I'm going to pull out the controller and show you the controller, and I'll take a picture of the label on the controller as well. And you'll see just exactly what controller is in this bike. So there's going to be about 6 more videos besides this one, a total maybe of 8 videos. That's more than they asked for. And the other thing is more than they asked for is the photos. They asked for them after the fact, but hey, I'm a nice guy. I like the people, so I'll give them photos as well. Now I'm going to go click, click, click. Yeah, see, whatever that is still 0, so I don't know what that is. But we're burning about 1,200 watts. We're doing almost 28 miles an hour, 29 on the thing. So yeah, it was 28. So GPS is a little slow at picking it up, but it does pick it up. They're very similar. They're within I would say a half a mile to maybe 3/4 of a mile difference in the speed on the speedometer and the speed on the GPS. All right, guys, that's going to conclude this video. Oh, and one more thing. Look, no hands. There she is. Beautiful, red. I'm going to take this on a trip this weekend, too. I think my wife wants to go to the gorge, and I'll charge this fully back up. We'll ride to the gorge. We'll drive to the gorge. We're going to ride with her friend, who I loaned a bike to. So what we're going to do is we're going to ride in the gorge wherever she lives in Washington State, in the gorge, and I'll take this bike and one other. I don't know which, but I'm definitely taking this bike because I like it. I like it. Rattan, great job. Beautiful bike. Like I said, the only thing I can think that in a future, well, maybe two things I'll give you. In the future, that, you know, if you want to charge a little bit more, you know, throw on the hydraulic brakes. This is probably a keeper bike for me, so maybe next year I'll buy some hydraulic brakes and put the hydraulic brakes on. And the only other thing I could say, well, maybe two other things. This is a 13 amp battery, maybe a 20 amp battery or a 18 amp battery. I know you're stuck on size, you got limits there. I get that. Other thing I would say is maybe put some shocks that don't absorb. I like mine stiff typically when I ride on the road, but that really isn't bothering me as much. They're spring-loaded shocks. They do just what they're supposed to do. All right, Rattan, thank you for the bike. I appreciate it so much. You guys are great. That's the video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe below, and we'll see you on the next episode.